In the early 1980s, the metal world was divided. On one side, the gritty, raw energy of hardcore punk seethed. On the other, the heady, aggressive thrills of thrash metal roared. But amidst this cacophonous divide, a new sound was about to emerge, a sound that would defy the conventions of the genre and forever change the face of heavy metal. In the heart of New York City, three friends, Scott Ian, Dan Lilker, and Charlie Benante, found themselves disillusioned with the polarized scene. They shared a mutual love for both hardcore punk and thrash metal, and they saw potential in the fusion of these two seemingly disparate genres. Scott Ian, the rhythmic powerhouse, had a knack for churning out riffs that were as catchy as they were heavy. Dan Lilker, the low-end maestro, had a penchant for pummeling bass lines that could shake the ground. And Charlie Benante, the percussive wizard, possessed a furious drumming style that combined the speed of punk with the power of metal. Together, they envisioned a band that could bridge the gap between these two worlds. And so, they set about forming a band that would embody this vision. They wanted to create something that was fresh and exciting, something that would challenge the norms and push the boundaries. They wanted their music to be a force of unity in a scene that was all too often divided. This was the genesis of S.O.D, or Stormtroopers of Death as they were initially known. Their name was a tongue-in-cheek nod to their aggressive, uncompromising sound, and their mission to disrupt the status quo. They began rehearsing in earnest, their shared vision driving them to craft songs that were as brutal as they were catchy. As the band began to take shape, they found their own unique voice within the metal scene. Their music was a potent blend of hardcore punk's raw energy and thrash metal's technical prowess, creating a sound that was both familiar and wholly new. And so, S.O.D was born, ready to challenge the status quo. Little did they know, they were about to embark on a journey that would not only redefine their own lives, but also leave a lasting impact on the world of heavy metal. In 1985, S.O.D released their debut EP, Speak English or Die, a groundbreaking record that shocked and awed the metal community. This was not just any ordinary record. It was a sonic explosion, a fusion of thrash metal and hardcore punk that was unapologetically raw, aggressive, and in your face. The title itself, Speak English or Die, was a bold statement. It was provocative, it was controversial, and it grabbed the attention of the world. But what was the intention behind it? The band members, Scott Ian, Dan Lilker, and Charlie Benante, have always maintained that the title was meant to be satirical, a commentary on the intolerance and xenophobia they saw in society. The EP was a whirlwind of blistering riffs, thunderous drums, and guttural vocals. Tracks like March of the S.O.D, Kill Yourself, and United Forces quickly became anthems for the disenfranchised, the outcasts, and the rebels. The music was a rallying cry, a call to arms against the status quo, but the impact of Speak English or Die extended beyond the music. The record was a catalyst, a spark that ignited a movement. It bridged the gap between the hardcore punk and thrash metal scenes, bringing together fans from both genres. It was a unifying force, a symbol of rebellion against the societal norms and expectations. The influence of Speak English or Die can still be felt today. It's in the DNA of countless bands that followed in S.O.D's footsteps, from Anthrax to Slayer to Pantera. It's in the mosh pits, the headbanging, the crowd surfing. It's in the spirit of defiance and resistance that continues to define heavy metal. Speak English or Die was a game changer. It was more than just an EP. It was a statement, a manifesto, a declaration of war against conformity and mediocrity. It was S.O.D's way of saying, "We're here, we're loud, and we're not going anywhere." Little did they know, they were about to trigger a seismic shift in the metal scene. And that shift continues to reverberate, echoing through the annals of heavy metal history. S.O.D's imagery, including the use of military themes and their name, raised eyebrows and generated controversy. As pioneers of crossover thrash, they were no strangers to pushing boundaries. However, their choice of name, Stormtroopers of Death or S.O.D, coupled with their military-esque visuals, ignited a firestorm of debate. The term Stormtroopers, with its historical associations, stirred up a hornet's nest of criticism. Many perceived it as an endorsement of violence and authoritarianism, but the band members had a different narrative to tell. They claimed that their intention was not to glorify violence but to employ satire and social commentary. Scott Ian, one of the founding members, explained, "The name was meant to be a parody. a satirical jab at the militaristic imagery that was prevalent in heavy metal at the time. We were simply trying to push the envelope, to provoke thought, not to advocate for violence or totalitarianism. However, this explanation did not appease everyone. Critics argued that the band's message was lost in translation, that the provocative name and imagery overshadowed any intended satire. The controversy took a toll, casting a shadow over the band's groundbreaking music and leading to misunderstandings about their true intentions. Despite this, the band members stuck to their guns. They believed that their music and the messages within it would eventually cut through the noise. And they were right. Fans around the world connected with their raw energy and their honest, no-holds-barred lyrics. They saw past the controversy and embraced the band for what they truly were. Innovators who weren't afraid to take risks. Yet despite the controversies, their music continued to resonate with fans around the globe. The soldiers of Dystopia marched on, undeterred by the criticism, their music a beacon of rebellion and resilience in the face of misunderstanding and controversy. Despite a brief hiatus, S.O.D returned to the stage in the early 2000s to the delight of their devoted fans. The band's reunion tour was not just a nostalgic trip down memory lane, but a powerful reminder of their groundbreaking influence on the heavy metal genre. Their music, a unique blend of thrash metal and hardcore punk, had lost none of its raw energy and potent appeal. Yet the impact of S.O.D extends beyond their own discography. The band's members, each a titan in their own right, have made significant contributions to the broader metal world through various side projects and collaborations. Scott Ian, with his distinctive rhythm guitar style, continued to thrash with Anthrax, influencing a generation of guitarists. Dan Lilker, the unrelenting bassist, went on to form Nuclear Assault, further pushing the boundaries of thrash metal. And Charlie Benante, the powerhouse drummer, proved his versatility with his work in Anthrax and his foray into other subgenres of metal. Their influence is not limited to their musical prowess alone. The audacity of S.O.D's lyrical themes, their fearless social commentary, and their unabashed sense of humor have left an indelible mark on the genre. They showed that metal could be serious and satirical, brutal and fun, all at the same time. Today, their music continues to resonate with fans old and new, as their classic tracks blast from speakers in homes, clubs, and festivals around the globe. New bands continue to look to S.O.D for inspiration, keeping the spirit of crossover thrash alive and kicking. Thus, the legacy of S.O.D lives on, a testament to their enduring impact on the world of metal. They remain the soldiers of Dystopia, a band that broke the rules, bridged divides, and forever changed the face of heavy metal. Their story is a reminder that in the world of metal, there are no boundaries, only possibilities.